Once again, good day everyone. For our second topic, it is the pre-employment preliminaries. For the objectives, number 1 is to know the do's and don'ts of job application. Number 2 is to familiarize oneself on the basic requirements or forms needed to be filled out to be discussed by Ma'am Raquel Cruz. Lastly is to distinguish proper grooming and makeup and be acquainted with the ethics of job application. To start with, let us first have our fastest finger first activity. All you have to do is to arrange the steps on its proper places. These are the steps in the scientific selection process. We have here application, recruitment, written test, interview, final selection, placement and induction, medical examination, and reference check. I'll be giving you 2 minutes to do the activity. The first one, to submit the correct answer, will be having a 50 pesos loan. And this is the answer. The first one is recruitment. As much as possible, huwag kayo mag-a-apply kung walang hiring kasi masasayang yung inyong resume, masasayang yung printing cost, masasayang din yung effort. Okay? Next is the applications. Pag may nabasa na kayo na recruitment, well, most basically, if you think you are qualified, then you can apply by submitting your resume or curriculum vitae. Next is the written test. Okay? Some of the tests that has been given is basically abstract, verbal comprehension, and some companies do give battery of tests. Medyo mahirap. Next is the interview. For some, interview muna before the written test. Interview is a face-to-face interaction with the interviewer, usually the human resource personnel, or the manager himself, and definitely the applicant. Next is the reference check. For this, you should be cautious enough and be responsible enough by saying all the informations true and correct. Bawal magsinungaling. Why? Because most of the companies do reference check. Next is the medical examination. Usually, it is the physical examination with x-ray and some others. And the last one will be the final selection Final selection means among the 5 applicants, it will be slashed into 3, okay? And then, it will be slashed into the most qualified applicant. The next will be placement and induction that you are part of the company. Okay, so please do remember these steps in the scientific selection process. Next, we'll proceed to the do's of job application. Number 1 is to read the job advertisement. Okay? The position and the qualifications. If you think you're qualified enough or skilled enough, then you can proceed to number 2, which is to have a well-planned CV. CV is a curriculum vitae or the resume. Always remember that your resume must be short. As much as possible, kung senior high school student at wala namang masyadong work experience pa, might as well the one-page resume will do. And it must be direct to the point. Hindi pwedeng masyadong descriptive, okay? To the point na para na siyang naging libro. Next, what is a CV? Let us define what is a CV. Again, it is a curriculum vitae. In Latin, it means course of life. It is a concise document which summarizes your past, existing professional skills, proficiency, and experiences. The purpose is to demonstrate that you have the necessary skills to do the job for which you are applying for. And you are selling your talents, skills, and proficiencies. Basically, your CV or your resume will be your representation. Kung hindi ka, you will not be given the chance to have an interview. Okay? Your CV or your resume will speak for your own self. Sabi nga. This is an example of a curriculum vitae. Okay? What are the necessary informations? Definitely your name, your address, and your contact number. Please, as much as possible, sa contact number, it will be your personal contact number. Or kung wala pang cellphone at sa parents, see to it na most of the time ay hawak mo para whenever someone call you, masasagot. Lalo na kung mabibigyan ka ng chance to have an interview. Okay? Next is to provide your career objective. The next one will be your academic qualification. Okay? If you have, but if not, you can proceed to your the schools that you have attended. Please be reminded that when you are writing your schools, the last 2 recent schools that you have been to, yun ang ilalagay. Tulad ngayon, senior high school kayo, ang ilalagay nyo is yung pang senior high at ang inyong junior high. No need to include your elementary, your kinder, and your daycare years. Okay? Or school. Next is your experience. If you have your experience, work experience, like, for example, you're working as a kitchen crew in McDonald's, for example, definitely, you can write it down. Next is your personal skills. The skills that you know, that you are good at it. Okay? And the next one will be your personal profile. Okay? If religion, as much as possible, ay hindi na kailangang ilagay. But in some companies, okay, if they're very particular with the religion, you must include your religion. Again, do it short and concise. The last one will be the declaration, which is normally, ito yung nakasulat. Okay, I extremely declare that all of the above information is correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. And then, please do not forget, most of the applicant always forget affixing their signature. Next, number 3 is to prepare yourself. How? By doing a lot of research. Research about the company that you wanted to apply for. Okay? Be knowledgeable and ask a lot of questions about the company. The more you know, well, I think, sabi nga son, the more you know, the better your chances of employment can be. Why? Because this is a manifestation that you are very interested to be a part of their company. Next, number 4, is to use bulleted lists on your cover letter. Kung marunong gumawa ng cover letter, it will be good for you, or the application letter. The application or the cover letter basically is the summary of the skills that you have, your work experiences, okay? And please be reminded that you have to make it short, about 100 words. Use bullet points instead. And remember, your CV is not a book. So make it short and concise. Next, number 5, is to create an easy-to-read CV. If your CV, your curriculum vitae, is not appealing to a company, they will not bother reading it. For example, nung ako'y HR pa, okay? Kapag ka hindi readable at masyadong maliit yung font size na ginamit, I won't bother reading that specific CV. Why? Kasi sayang yung oras. Okay? Next, ensure that your CV is easy to read, have dates of your experience, and education in chronological order. And always spell check to ensure that you have no grammatical errors. Kung meron kayong close friend na teacher or English professor, might as well ipa-proofread ninyo para at least added point yun sa inyo that you have no grammatical errors. Next is to be descriptive. When you're listing your experience at previous jobs, give lot of details. Okay? While you add details, take care to keep it short. Like for example, if you are a kitchen crew, then write what are those things that you are doing inside the kitchen. Remember, you need to sell yourself. The more informations that you can give, might as well will be a manifestation that somehow you are quite good enough for the position that they are looking for. Next, number 7, is to show up with their best attitude. If you're having a bad day, ensure that you do not bring negativity to the interview. Instead, be friendly. Halimbawa na traffic, huwag kumunot ang noo. Be apologetic, okay? At huwag kang magreklamo. Next is, please be reminded that perseverance and tenacity is always a good backup with experience. Kung hindi ka nakuha at first, always remember, pwede ka pa rin mag-try and try sa iba. Another one is to apply online. Nowadays, marami tayong website wherein you can apply or you can look for a certain positions that they are looking for. Okay? We have here jobstreet.com, trabajo.com, mansarjobs.com, and Job Rapido, and many others. You can apply online. Lalo na this pandemic time or this pandemic situation, might as well, it will be good for you to apply online first before going to a specific company that you wanted to be in. Number 9 is to include contactable references in your CV. Before you consider listing someone as a reference, make sure that they know that you're listing them. Like for example, meron akong mga former students na nag-apply sa isang fast food chain, nag-i-inform mo na sila sa akin. Ma'am, pwede ko po kayo magamit as character references. Okay? Pag pumayag, then good. Kasi ang ibibigay noon, and see to it, nakakilala kayo nung reference, okay, na ilalagay nyo doon sa inyong CV. Why? Kasi most of the misconception is maglalagay ako ng politician, maglalagay ako ng mga military men, na pagka may kamag-anak ko na ganito, madali na siyang matatanggap. No. Okay? So see to it that those references know you fully. And again, as you can see, avoid listing politicians. Number 10 is to be flexible. when you apply for a job, you may not get what you want. There may be other vacancies within the company. If you do your best with your CV and your interview, who knows, you may get something even better. So be flexible. How? Kung hindi natanggap, it's not the end of the world. Marami pang marami pang hiring, marami pang companies, okay? At marami pang nagsusulputan ng mga industrial companies wherein you can apply. Okay? Kung hindi, like for example, kung hindi ka natanggap sa Bang Inasal, may Jollibee, may Southgate, may... Okay? Again, as long as you are interested to have a job, well, you must be flexible enough. Okay? Next, we'll proceed to the don'ts. Number one on the list is do not lie. Okay? Or don't lie about your experiences. Kung walang experience, walang ilalagay. Okay? Why? Because some do credit and background checks. Okay? There are a lot of human resource personnel or managers or even owners na talagang nagba-background check. Lalo na kung very critical ang posisyon. Okay? And see to it na yung inilagay yung contact number is active. Okay? And again, kakilala kayo. Because this background or credit checking is very crucial. Next, you should be honest. Tell the interviewer whether you've had any experiences in the past that may influence your chances of employment. Kung meron. Kung wala, just say, wala po. I have no experience yet. Next, do not be lazy or don't be lazy. If you want to create a good impression, you need to let the person reading your CV know that you've done your homework. Each time you apply for a job, change your CV so that it suits the job application. Most of the misconception is that nag-update ako ng resume ngayon at mag-apply ulit ako sa iba, updated na yon. Hindi ko napapalitan yung position, hindi ko napapalitan yung career objective. Okay? No. Huwag maging tamad. As much as possible, you have to update your CV or your curriculum vitae from time to time. Next, don't include unnecessary information. When you list your personal information, include only ID number, contact details, and whether you can drive. You don't need to include your religion or other personal information unless otherwise specified to do so. Nakalagay naman yun sa hiring nila sa job specifications, sa job requirements. Kung nakikita nyo na include one by one picture, then one by one. Okay? And please, okay, do not include unnecessary information that you are a TikToker, you are good in vlogging, kung alam nyo it is not related to the position that you are applying for. Those are unnecessary informations. Next, don't skip the details. You may have prepared a good CV for your job application, but when you email your CV or apply online, your CV can be rejected. If you're emailing your CV, have a good subject line. Tell the person who you are and what job you are applying for. The person reading your email may have 100 other messages to read, so ensure that your email is detailed and it stands out. Remember, kung merong isang job hiring, there will be a lot of applicants. So yeah, your application must stand out. Hindi siya katulad ng ordinary application. Okay? Next, number 5, is do not forget to read. When you write your objective line at the top of your CV, remember to read the job advertisement first. For instance, if the employer asks for someone who is hardworking, make sure you mention the word hardworking. It will capture the attention of the recruiter first, as he know what he is looking for. So that is one of the good tip that you can have kung ano yung nakalagay doon sa inilagay ng employer doon sa hiring, and might as well, yun ang ilagay mo as your objective line. Next is don't dress badly. When you have a job interview, dress appropriately. Wear sensible shoes and clothes that are clean and ironed. First impressions count, so look professional. Kung ang sapatos ay may alikabok, please, pakipunasan. Huwag mag-apply ng lukot-lukot ang damit or ang pantalon. Okay? Next, do not be afraid to follow up. If you have sent your CV or gone for a job interview, you can follow up after a week. Following up will show that you're interested and it makes you stand out. Don't, however, pester the employer. Okay? Ang sabi dyan, you can follow up after a week. Okay? After a week. Hindi yung daily. Nag-apply ka ng Monday, nag-follow up ka ng Tuesday, ng Wednesday. Nayamot na yung employer kasi sobrang kulit mo, you're not professional, then might as well you will not be hired. But, share ko lang. No, ako'y HR, pag sinabi ng HR na tatawagan ka na lang namin, somehow, it connotates 50% chance, only 50% chance, or mas mababa pa, na you will be hired. Why? Kasi on the spot, kung sila'y interesado, well, might as well, yung next step will be given to you. You will proceed to the next step. Pero pag sinabi ng HR, natatawagan ka na lang, active naman yung contact number mo, might as well, mag-apply ka na sa iba. Okay? Next, number 8. Do not forget to breathe. Nerves are good. They keep you on your toes. Try breathing exercises to keep calm throughout the interview. Please, pag ini-interview, huwag ilagay ang kamay sa dibdib kung kinakabahan. It is quite normal na kabahan. Meron akong na-interview noon, inilagay pa yung kamay sa loob ng dibdib. Meaning to say, para sa akin, it's a manifestation na siya ay hindi confident. Okay? And please, wag naman sa sobrang confident mo, nag-cross legs ka or nag-8 ka doon, okay, o naka-4 ka doon, na feeling mo ikaw na yung manager. And please, ito pa yung isa, yung nilalagay yung kamay sa ibabaw ng table ng interviewer. That is a big no-no. Why? It connotates that you are boastful, mayabang. As much as possible, kailangan nakaupo ka ng maayos. Sit down properly. Okay? At do not slouch. At huwag yung ididikit ang katawan sa likod ng upuan. Okay? And again, do not forget to breathe. Okay? Para lang kasi kayo nagkukwentuhan din. Next, number 9, is don't be negative. At your job interview, ensure that you do not gossip about former employees or argue with the interviewer. Again, a big no-no kung makikipagtalo ka sa interviewer. Tandaan mo, ikaw nangangailangan ng trabaho. So kung makikipagtalo ka dyan, well, rest assured na hindi ka matatanggap. Another thing is that, bakit ka umalis dun sa former company? Kasi po masama yung ugali ng manager, kasi po ganito, kuripot po, kasi po ganito. Okay? You lose points. Why? Kasi it connotates na pagka na-hire ka nila, ganun din ang gagawin mo sa kanila. Yeah, again, do not be negative. Number 10 is do not forget to watch your phone. If you are applying for a job, make sure that you have provided the correct contact details and that you answer your phone. Be contactable. Again, use active numbers. If the recruiter can hold of you, he may move on the next applicant. Yung tipong 2-3 beses tinawagan ka, cannot be reached, you lose your points. Next, so those are the sources. Okay, now we will proceed to the job interviewing don'ts for job seekers by Susan P. Joyce. What is a job interview? A job interview is your opportunity to show a potential employer how you can shine in the role and at the company. Think of the interview as an audition for the job and also as a sample of your work because that's how employers often view it. So it is your opportunity. If you're given the chance to be interviewed, it is a big opportunity for you to shine out. Always keep this in mind. You're interviewing the interviewers too. You need to get a handle on whether or not the job and the company are a good fit for you. If you think you're applying for, like for example, you're applying for a documentation personnel, and yet ang dinidiscuss sa'yo ay meron kang cleaning jobs, okay? Meron kang gagawin which is out of the line doon sa iyong posisyon na ina-applyan. Well, you can think, okay? Kung sa palagay mo it is not the job for you, then be it. Okay? Huwag mong ipagsiksikan yung sarili mo doon kung sa palagay mo hindi yun ang trabaho para sa'yo. Again, there are a lot of hirings. Next, don't assume that you can wing it and be impressive without trying or without advanced preparation. Noong ako'y nag-a-apply pa, there are a lot of companies na in-applyan ko and there are a lot of interviews. Merong single, merong one-by-one interview. Meron naman siyang interview, which is a panel interview wherein there are a lot of personnel from the company. Okay? Do not assume that you can wing it. You can wing it. No. You have to be impressive, but do not be boastful enough to the point na mayayamot sa'yo yung interviewer kasi sobrang ang yabang mo. Okay? Next, don't assume that an invitation to a job interview means that you have a job offer in the bag. No. Again, so steps in the scientific process, number 2 or number 3 lamang siya. Okay? May susunod pa. And it doesn't mean that if you have a job interview, sooner or later you'll be having the job offer. No. Next is don't arrive late. Let's repeat this one. Don't arrive late. Another one is don't dress inappropriately. If you're unsure of how to dress, formal versus business casual, aim for clothing that is a bit more formal to be on the safe side. You can wear slacks and polo for boys, slacks or skirt, which is below the knee for girls. And definitely a top one. Okay? Blouse will do. During the interview, do not eat, drink, or chew gum during the interview. Bawal kumain at uminom. Another one is definitely do not drink alcohol and do not smoke before the interview. Next is don't answer cell phone calls or send or respond to text during the interview. Focus lang sa interview, kung ano sinasabi ng interviewer, the same as with the question. Okay? Next, don't inquire about their salary, vacations, bonuses, retirement, or any other benefits until you've received an offer. Tandaan, applicant ka pa lang, wala ka pang karapatang magtanong ng mga ganitong bagay. Next, do not act desperate as though you would take any job with any employer. No, hindi ganun. Definitely, there will be a company that will suit your qualifications. Okay? Next, do not act disinterested in the job or the employer. Wala kang pakialam doon, definitely. Sa dami ng nangangailangan ng trabaho, kung if they feel that you are not interested, might as well, huwag na lang mag-apply at all. Next is don't say anything negative about former colleagues, supervisors, or employers. Do not gossip. It will not make you stand out. Don't offer any negative information about yourself even if you are being self-depreciating. Ganito lang po kasi ako, wala po naka-appreciate sa akin. Well, it's a negative point for you. Next is do not answer questions with a simple yes or no. Try to elaborate your answer. Do not be soft-spoken. Speak clearly and project confidence and preparation. Ano yung sobrang hina na parang pinauulit-ulit na lang ng interviewer yung sagot mo. Next, do not fidget or slouch. Okay? Next, do not fidget or slouch. Yung pag umupo ka, okay? Sit up straight. Huwag ilapat yung likod sa upuan. Next, do not bring up or discuss personal issues or family problems. It's none of their business. Another one is, don't respond to an unexpected question with an extended pause or by saying something like, boy, that's a good question. No. With an unexpected question, okay, see to it that you have tried to analyze the question and then say something about, answer it. Say something about it. Okay, wag naman yung tipong nag-pause ka ay sobrang intagal. Next is do not ever lie or don't ever lie. Any questions truthfully or answer questions truthfully, frankly, and succinctly. Next is do not or don't over answer questions. Huwag naman masyadong mahaba yung sagot mo sa questions. Okay? Sharing too much information or yung too much information can be more damaging than not sharing enough. Sabi nga, less talk, less mistake. Next is, do not or don't tell jokes during the interview. Kahit you have this 100% humor, okay? You're just wasting your time and the interviewer's time. Next is, don't tell jokes. Don't ask the interviewers personal questions. Okay? After the interview, don't forget to follow up immediately with your thank you notes or emails to each interviewer. After the interview, it is professional enough to say thank you that they have given you the opportunity to be interviewed. For the proper grooming, as you can see, for male, do not wear graphic tee, distracting accessories, unprofessional messages, and revealing skirt. For the do side, okay, press suit, conservative top, polished shoes, and matching pieces. Huwag naman masyadong colorful, masyadong maputik ang sapatos. For women, yan, as you can see, a neutral look. And the skirt leg should be a little below the knee. Blouses should be cotton or silk. Pantyhose, walang run. Basic pumps with 1 or 2 inches heels will do. Do not use sandals. Use as much as possible covered shoes, okay, or closed shoes. Simple accessories, no visible body piercing. Makeup should be in minimal and in conservative tones. Minimal cologne as well, and light briefcase or portfolio, as you can see. For male, okay, a 2-piece suit or navy or a simple polo and slacks will do. Okay, black shoes as well. Button-down dress skirt, polished dress shoes, no earrings. Get a haircut, clean trimmed fingernails, dapat malinis. Minimal cologne as well, and light briefcase or portfolio. Please, huwag bilugin na parang diploma yung inyong resume. For the proper makeup, again, it says here, for hair, you have to keep it simple. Kung mas bagay nakatali din bunso, okay, huwag pabayaan yung buhok ay lumalaylay sa noo. Okay? Next is that for makeup, less is more. Okay? If you do not need much coverage, use a tinted moisturizer or BB cream to even out your skin tone, but be sure to cover any blemishes or redness with concealer. Okay? And please, dun sa mga nagme-makeup, huwag naman yung sobrang puti ng mukha and then sobrang maitim naman. Okay? Wear lipstick, not lip gloss. Use eyeshadows in neutral and natural shades. A little bit of shimmer is fine, but stay away from adding a lot of shine, especially glitter. Hindi kailangan yon. Mascara and a bit of eyeliner are really all you need. Well-groomed brows, okay, or brows, show that you pay attention to details. Tweeze any stray hairs and use brow gel to keep your arches in place. Applying a little bit of blush makes everyone look healthier. Use this rather than bronzer for a natural-looking healthy glow. Okay? Fragrance, one easy to remember guideline, don't wear any. You don't want your interviewer put off by a scent he or she doesn't find appealing, or worse is allergic to. Kaya minimal cologne will do. For nails, simple. Make it clean. Kung maglalagay ng cutics, okay? It doesn't matter whether your nails are long or short, but they should be neatly filed. Okay? Interview tips, gestures, and ethics during the job interview. Okay? From the moment that you walk into an employer's office for an interview, you are being observed. Okay? Your posture, look, voice, and presence are all important, and you want to watch your every move to leave a great impression. The moment you walk into an employer's door, you are being observed. The way you walk, the way you say good morning, the way you sit, okay? My points there. You have to be cautious. Once you meet your interviewer, greet with a firm handshake, makipagkamay. Next, when sitting, cross your ankles and keep your hands on your lap. Hindi pwedeng ipatong sa table, sa lap. Next, maintain eye contact and nod your head often. This shows that you're paying full attention and giving up your all. Next, be aware of saying too much as mentioned, you want to sound confident and sell yourself. So avoid using these words. When you are asked if you have any questions, definitely ask. Show genuine interest and that you want to learn more. At the end of the interview, conclude with another firm handshake, tumayo, and then makipag-handshake, and thank the interviewer for meeting with you. It's easy to forget this last gesture when you are overwhelmed, but this portrays real professionalism and respect. For the top 10 interview questions, well, what can you tell me about yourself? Okay? Talk about yourself in summary and avoid rambling. Focus on the elements that you want to highlight rather than going through everything. It is okay to discuss your personality and what ambitions you have. Ideally, you will give the interviewer a positive insight into how you would fit in as an employee. Okay? Can you list your strengths? Be humble enough to say those strengths of yours, Okay? If you're a strong organizer, for example, then talk about the project that you coordinated or a new procedure that you have formulated. If you're good with numbers, then talk about your skills with spreadsheets or financial matters. Okay? Another one is, what weaknesses do you have? Okay? Never say that you have no weaknesses. Imposible yan. Lahat ng tao may weakness. Remember that being able to identify a weakness is a strength. Kung alam mong mahina ka dito, then say it. But also say that you are doing something to overcome your weakness. Why should I consider hiring you? Because I'm hardworking, okay, and willing to learn. I wanted to be a part of your growing company. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? This is your chance to talk about your wider ambitions and goals. It is okay to say that you'd like progress It is okay to say that you'd like to progress on from the position on offer in most cases. Bosses want to hire people with determination, so don't be shy about sounding ambitious or hungry for success. Where do you see for yourself 5 years from now? I can see myself today as an human resource staff, but 5 years from now, I will be the human resource manager. Next, why do you want to work here? This is your chance to show that you have Research the company you are applying to work with. Avoid saying anything negative about your current employer, which makes it seem you are simply after any job at all. Bakit gusto mo magtrabaho dito? Because I do believe this company will be part of the fastest and biggest company in the Philippines. Why? What is your salary expectation? First, it is okay to talk about pay in terms of ranges and not be specific about a particular number. It is also okay to include other benefits like healthcare, pensions, and time off within the context of salary. Make sure you have looked at other similar jobs being advertised in other organizations so that you have an idea to pay rate in the market. 8. What motivates you? Motivation is personal, so there is no wrong answer. It might be down to your desire to succeed or build a career, but it might also be because you want to provide for your family. Both perfectly good answers if you choose to give them. What makes a good team player? Many people say in their CV that they are good at working cooperatively or team players, but few say what this actually means. Think about examples from your past that demonstrate your ability to build bridges, form networks, or simply get on with people. This needn't be from your professional life. You could cite any example from clubs or organizations to which you belong. And lastly, is there anything that you would like to ask me? Always have at least one question prepared in advance. This is your chance to drill down into an area of the business that you might not have been covered in the interview. Alternatively, you might simply like to ask for feedback on how you have done in the interview. Can I ask how I have done with the interview? A good tip is to pick up something that has been mentioned in passing by the interview about the job. Ask him or her to expand on this. Not only does it make you appear interested, but it shows that you have been listening attentively to what has been said. It should leave the interviewer with a good final impression of you. To end this one, start by doing what's necessary, then what's possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. Again, I hope you have learned something new for today. This is Ms. Joie Miranda, your guidance designate. Thank you and good day.